Good morning, everybody. Well, some would say it's good morning. It's started snowing at about 1:30, 2 o'clock this morning, and it's still flurrying. Some areas more than others, but um, surfing around the different keto groups and my personal page. Not really surfing around the different groups. I would say just sharing my information and talking on some of the bigger groups about nutrition and stuff like that. It's at the end of the day, we try to have answers for everything, and we try to answer people's questions, and each one of us individually, you just like me, we try to help the next person. And all we can really do is give the information that we have based on what's worked for us, because anything outside of that is just speculation, and whatever works for us is not really going to work for somebody else. Um, there are certain YouTubers you follow that have continued to drink diet sodas forever, and they've lost 100, 140, 150, 160 pounds, and their cholesterol levels are great, their vitamin levels are great. They've just done a really phenomenal job on whatever type of keto or diet plan, vegan, whatever it is that they've done, and they've succeeded in genetically their genes letting them play out that way with the type of lifestyle that they've lived. But somebody else could try the same thing and they completely fail, and they don't know what to do, so they try something clean, and then trying a clean type of ketogenic diet or carnivorous diet or vegan diet, they fail at doing that too. And then they just keep trying things over and over and over again, and they fail. What do? You just have to pick something that you feel the most comfortable with and continue doing it, practicing it. There's a number of reasons why you would fail, but at the end of the day, I don't have that answer for you. The next person doesn't have that answer for you. At the end of the day, you have to try to figure out that answer yourself. Nobody's responsible for you but you. A lady last year, she was talking on a group, and she had mentioned that I had given her a bunch of information about cutting out, the maltodextrin, the artificial sweeteners, the stuff with lots of additives and hydrogenated oils and stuff like that, and that would probably be the best way to start, and none of it worked for her. She didn't succeed in any of that. But then she forgot the fact that, she could be deficient in calories because she was chronically under eating all the time. But she almost made it seem like it was my fault that I didn't give her that bit of information to tell her, wait, you need to make sure you eat enough, because your body's going to try to go in that reserve mode, that storage mode, to where it's not going to want to let anything go because you're not literally eating enough. I can't be responsible for every single person that asks me those questions. I can't be responsible for giving you every little bit of information and filling your mind full of this quality based information that somebody may be able to give you. You have to take that initiation and that research and stuff into your own hands. When diets fail, there's a number of things you can look at. How clean am I eating? Am I chronically stressed out? Have I had my hormone levels checked? Are my labs all in check? What's going on in my life that may stop me from having to or succeeding on whatever type of diet that I'm on? The question can't always be answered in just a general conversation between two people. It could be a number of things compounding, and then you run into stalls for long periods of time. I was just talking to my doctor, and she said, "You haven't lost any weight in a while. What's going on?" And I said, I'll be straight with you. Slip ups, making choices that aren't necessarily the healthiest, stress in my life, a number of things. And she says, "Yeah, yep, that's exactly why people end up, for the biggest part, of stopping their success, is because of the little small choices that they make in their life that disrupt everything else, or the fact that you may be having problems at home with your loved one or your kids, or work, or it's just a very, very stressful time in your life. Don't expect amazing results during those times. You just have to do the best that you can with what you got, and you move on." The other day I had mentioned something about A lot of the people that like to make keto recipes and stuff like that, they're still posting like sugar-free jellos and things of that nature. You're not doing yourself any justice by doing that. And these are people that have been doing this for years. And you're not doing other people that you share your recipes with justice by doing stuff like that, because there are products in there that aren't necessarily, I mean, and they're at the worst end of the spectrum of products. You know, glycemic index of, 105, 110, 115, depending on where you get your information, because maltodextrin's in the product. But then you're turning around and you're recommending that to other people to make their holiday treats and things like that. I get it. I get that that may work for you because it's sugar free. Doesn't necessarily, that could be something that's causing an issue for some people. I remember watching a segment where there was a guy in the hospital and he was like 600 pounds, and the doctor was wanting him to lose weight, but for some reason something kept happening with his blood sugar or the way his insulin was reacting to certain things, and the hospital was really controlling what he was eating, and they couldn't figure out why he was getting this effect. His wife was sneaking in packs of gum for him and giving it to him, and he was hiding it. And then he was taking gum out and he was chewing it throughout the day constantly because he was a chronic gum chewer. And even though just that little bit of sugar that was coming from that gum, it was enough to hinder the fact that he wasn't getting the results that they did. And they found out about it and they took the gum away from him, and then the guy went back to slowly losing weight again. It was something so simple that his body was reacting to it a certain way to where it was silly. It's, are you getting enough sleep at night? When diet fails, we like to look and point our finger at the diet and say, well, that's the reason why. It was because I wasn't doing it correctly, or this diet doesn't work for me. It's around the holiday time now. People are going to make choices now that aren't necessarily the cleanest, and that's your right to do that. It's nobody's right to go on your Facebook page or your YouTube page and tell you that, oh my God, you posted, grandma's cheesecake pumpkin pie or whatever, pumpkin cheesecake, you're not doing keto correctly. All that stuff's for the birds. I mean, really, you're going to have that stuff. It's holiday season now. People are going to do that type of stuff. And I've been working on weeding that stuff out of my life completely. I don't have time for ignorance and militant people like that. And I've been weeding that type of stress completely out of my life, so I don't even have to deal with it. And I had posted a little posting on Facebook that spoke about, hey, the people that make all these treats and stuff around the holidays, I get that you're doing this to help other people and share your recipes, and you want the views and the subscribers and stuff, but you could use a better form of what you're doing to make this product. It's just as easy. What's up with all the sugar-free Jello crap all over the place all of a sudden? And I had responded to a lady privately instead of blasting her on Facebook and said, hey, I understand you're doing this for these reasons, but that's got maltodextrin in it, and I know you share your recipes with a lot of people. I've seen you around for a while, and I know you're very well experienced, and you share your loads of people love your recipes. But what you're using is not very healthy. It's at like the very worst end of the spectrum. And you've got a lot of people with medical issues that follow you, and this is not necessarily safe for them. I did it privately to let her know those things, to maybe educate her. Maybe she didn't know about this. Just like Goody Beats, he was doing a video and he was dumping sugar-free Jello and stuff. And I said, hey, bro, like, I'm not trying to be a jerk or anything like that, but you seem like you're a pretty knowledgeable guy. I've been doing this 2 or 3 times longer than you, and I'm just drawing emphasis to the fact that knowledge base and time wise, maybe I've got a little bit more, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but the sugar-free Jello and the stuff that you're just dumping in your food sometimes when you make your videos, man, that stuff is not healthy. And I'm not sure if you ever did any kind of research on it, but just please look into it. And then all of a sudden he quit doing it. He learned from that lesson and he stopped using it because he literally did not know. So I speak up and I say something about it, and and maybe some of that is some of the reasons why people are failing on their diet. You never know what the reason could be. Like me, I've failed for like almost the last 6 or 7 months now since I moved back to Illinois. It's been a slow. I've been the same weight. I haven't gained any weight, but it's been a roller coaster ride, up and down, stress and financial stuff. And you know, you guys have been through, you guys have been through this with me for the last 6 months. I've been all over the place now. Over the last, I would say, 2 months solid, I'm finally at a stable place in my life. I cannot use that as an excuse. I really couldn't before, but it is what it is. When diet fails, um, you know, what do? You can't blame the diet. You got to look at your life. 9 times out of 10, it's what's going on in your life, and it's not so much the diet. Because most of the time, people are making pretty sound choices. They're not disastrous choices, unless you start that carb binge and it just never stops. Um, I had a guy respond to me on the whole warning message about the different types of ingredients and products and things like that that we use in our holiday foods and things of that nature. And he said, well, how much maltodextrin is in one serving of sugar-free Jello? It's probably irrelevant. No, it's not. If you think of things that way, as this is irrelevant because of the amount of maltodextrin that's in one serving, then you're going to make an excuse to do this all the time. That mindset is disastrous. Well, I could just have a little bit right now. It's okay. It's just a very, very small amount. If you don't have control of yourself, and if you don't have control over food and the addiction and stuff that you have, when you say a little bit is okay, and it's something like, you know, it has a glycemic load of, or a glycemic index of 105, 195, whatever it is, it's almost like you set yourself up, your mindset, you set yourself up for saying, okay, I can do that again. 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 You can. If you've got that kind of control to where you do it right now and you don't do it again for, you know, a week, 2 weeks, a month, sure. But there's not that many of us, even me, as strong as I am when it comes to this stuff. If I eat just like, you know, if I went out and had a quesadilla right now, by tonight, I want another quesadilla. By tomorrow, I'm probably looking to go get another quesadilla. So I know that even as strong as I am, I can't make those choices. And when I do make those choices, I have to make sure that I'm in the right frame of mind, because that's going to make me fail diet wise. And then I'm going to make that excuse to do it over and over and over again. It's a compounding effect. It just snowballs. So that the mindset that this guy came at me with, you know, I replied with that very specific answer when he said, well, how much is in one serving? It can't be there very much. It's just a thickening agent. No, it still has a glycemic index to it. It still has a load impact on your insulin levels and your blood sugar. It still has an effect on you. And if you continue to make excuses to use that because it's just a thickening agent, well, I mean, you just set yourself up for failure. It's something that's going to keep continually happening with that mindset. So my response to him was, no, maltodextrin is pretty much a crap product. And it's not something that I would like to make excuses for and continually put in my diet, because with that mindset, I'm going to fail. And then everybody else kind of agreed with me because, you know, I was straight 100% honest with the guy. And this is a guy that, like, constantly is in the research and the science and stuff of things. And, you know, on my business page, I had posted something like that too. And this is another thing that really aggravates me with us as a group amongst each other and stuff like that, that I think we could do a much better job of communicating with each other. When you go to somebody and you have a question and you already have an answer built up and it's in that storage bank, it's already there in your head, and you know that somebody's probably not going to answer that question the way you would like it, and you're ready to defend what they're about to say, or you're ready to go on the offense or whatever it is, you're wrong. I mean, seriously, why come to somebody with a question? Like a guy came to me and said, well, how much maltodextrin is in one serving? He already had an answer in his head. He already knew what he was going to say to me, and in reference to what I was going to say before I even said it, because he had already predicted that I was going to say, what does it matter? It's not a very good product. It shouldn't be in your food. So he knew I was going to say that. He knew that was the type of person that I am. So immediately, copy and paste just slammed me with this long post of, you know, this is a thickening agent and all this other stuff. And I got to the end of it and I was like, well, first of all, why are you wasting my time? Second of all, if you already had the answer for this, why are we playing games with each other? This is something that most people can go research themselves. And third, I don't necessarily agree with everything you posted here. Making excuses for things is just going to continue to make you fail. So just because you call it a thickening agent and one website has it as a glycemic index of 90, another website has it as a glycemic index of 105, that doesn't mean that it's a high glycemic index. Where's the confusion at? It's not a very clean product. It's not something that we should have in our diet. If we're trying to reduce the amount of insulin being spiked all the time, then why do we make an exception for it in our diet if it's one of the highest glycemic load, sugars out there, thickening agents out there? Why are you coming at me already with an answer to defend something that you shouldn't have to defend? Keep your knowledge in your head and use it to help people if that's what you want to do. I don't have time for all that. I don't have time to sit here and try to justify and argue and stuff with people over nonsense, So that's going on this time of year right now. People are emotional. It's the holidays. They're with their families and stuff. They're already ready to jump the gun. They're already ready to defend about why this works or why that doesn't work. Really, at the end of the day, there's no doctor that has the answer for you. There's no nutritionist that has the answer for you. There's no website that has the answer for you. Nobody has that answer for you. You're going to have to figure it out. And when diet fails, the only thing that you can do is stick to what you know and what you know works for you and continue on. Nobody has the answer for you. Not me, not anybody. You know what the number one answer is? Fast. Fast through stress, through hunger, through any event in life that you have. Fasting is the only 100% acceptable answer to get through a situation if you know you're going to make the wrong choice, or you're stalling out, or you're trying to clean something out of your body or detox, and everybody can't do it. So we just have to remember this time of year is very critical, because there are a lot of people that are seeing family. They're emotional. They want food that grandma cooked back when they were kids and stuff again. This time of year is not the time of year for people to bash other people because they posted, grandma's pumpkin pie or apple pie or cherry pie or something like that. And I see people doing that constantly. I see Debbie from Arizona. She posts, she's getting, ready to start making the family's recipes and stuff like that, getting everything together. But then Jim from California pops up and says, I thought you were keto. Why are you posting all that? It's not your place to do that. That's her life. She knows her diet's going to fail. She knows she's going to fall off a wagon. She's probably already preparing for it. It's that time of year. The holidays and stuff are around. I'm not making excuses for it. But that's also not anybody else's place to go jump in somebody else's life and make them feel bad about what they're doing. They're an adult. They know what they're doing wrong. It's not the time to, and it's not even necessarily wrong. It's still their choice. Just because I say I'm a carnivore or I'm a ketogenic person or something like that, and I choose to have something else that's not part of the diet plan, it's still my life. I still choose to do that. I'm still an adult. I make those choices. It's not anybody else's place to correct people. And I'm seeing a lot of that going on. And people get into arguments over it. And it's just, when your diet fails, you just have to do the best you can with what you got. That's what it comes down to. And nobody's going to be able to answer that. That's just it, guys. Keep doing what you do. It's the holiday time. If you have any doubts or questions about whether you're doing something right or you should be eating something or what, fast. I know that's not necessarily the answer for everybody, but fast. Get yourself some electrolyte water, some little sodium, pinch some salt, and drink some water. That's what you do. When you're in doubt and you don't know what to do and you got a little body weight to lose, just fast. Anything else outside of that during stressful times, probably not going to work out to your favor. Stress, cortisol levels, hormones all over the place. It's just constantly things are changing in your life. Vegetable Police, he yesterday was talking about being strict and on the, if you don't know who Vegetable Police is, he's a previous vegan that went carnivore, then went back to vegan, then went carnivore, then keto, and then back to vegan, and And now he's kind of like a vegetarian where he eats fish a couple times a week, but calls himself vegan on the non-fish days, which doesn't make any sense, because if you're eating animal products at all, you're not vegan. There are no vegan days. There are no just vegetarian days. Either you're eating animal products or you're not. But just yesterday, you know, again, when diet fails for him as well, this guy's got 150,000 subscribers on YouTube. Yesterday he was talking about being strict and not falling off the plan and sticking to your guns and everything else, and now today he puts out a video where he's talking about why his diet failed. You know, why he went vegan for 2 weeks and he didn't feel right, and he had to go back to eating fish once or twice a week, or eggs once or twice a week as well, or something like that. And it's like, these things are going to happen. Your diet's going to fail. You're going to fail. You just keep doing what you know and you move on. This life is very, very short to be stressed out over food and stuff every single day and worrying about what the next person's going to approve of, or who's got your answer, who doesn't have. Nobody has your answer. You do. You're the only one that's going to be able to figure that out. When it all fails, go back to the beginning, go back to the basics, go back to what you know. Start over. Nothing wrong with that. Or fast. Thanks, guys. I'm going to start my day at work. I appreciate y'all. Take care. Have a great day. Stay warm. Be blessed.